What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Derek and today we are doing a review of the GoPro Hero 10, specifically the GoPro Hero 10 Creator Edition, which includes a couple extra accessories or mods that help take the GoPro Hero 10 from just a normal action camera, in my opinion, to something a little bit more. With that said, let's go ahead and roll the intro and we'll jump right into the review. All right, guys, so as I said, today specifically we are talking about the GoPro Hero 10 Creator Edition. But before we jump into the Creator Edition and the extra mods, accessories that you get with that kit, first I want to run over the specs of the Hero 10 if you are looking to upgrade from another model. Myself, the last Hero I had was the Hero 7, and when the 10 came out, I decided it was time for an upgrade. And I always wait a couple years in between to upgrade them till there's enough changes that I feel make it worth it. First things first, just basing off of the GoPro Hero 9, a couple of the big changes were that now at 5.3K resolution in video, you can do up to 60 frames per second. That is up from 30 on the GoPro Hero 9. Also, you can do 4K at 120 FPS if you want that nice, smooth, and buttery B-roll, slow motion. And then also, if you want to do 240 FPS, you can do that at 2.7K resolution. You don't even got to drop down to 1080p. Has a 23 megapixel sensor for photos instead of 20 megapixels with the GoPro Hero 9. And also the hyper stabilization was upgraded from version 3.0 to version 4.0. And let me tell you, the new hyper stabilization in 4.0, it's pretty freaking amazing. I've taken shots where I was like running full force next to like my daughter while she was riding the bike. It's just mind-boggling. Again, if you're coming from an older version like the Hero 7, I think the 10 is worth the upgrade, not because of the specs so much as because of this creator bundle, which is what I want to talk about in a minute. It has a 2.7-inch LCD touchscreen on the back. On the front, it has a 1.4-inch LCD screen. The front is not touchscreen. I don't really see why you would need that, especially if you're using the front camera with something like this, the tripod. This tripod actually has where you can switch the modes and start and stop recording, everything built right into it. And there's also third-party Bluetooth controllers that'll basically allow you to do that stuff. So anyways, it's rocking their new GP2 processor. Obviously stands for GoPro, I assume. Actually, I don't actually know that, but I'm assuming it means GoPro. That's just their own proprietary chip that basically allows for some better things like better stabilization. It allows for better low light, supposedly, a bunch of other different things. As with most GoPros, it is water resistant up to 33 feet or 10 meters. Also allows IP live streaming up to 1080p, which is kind of cool if you're into live streaming like IRL events and stuff. Maybe you want to like live stream your vlogs or stuff. So that's really cool. Has all the normal GoPro features like voice control, all of that. Those are the main ones that most people are concerned about. I'm not going to go over every little detail of this. Well, first, and let me say, the reason that I'm not going to go over everything is because, as always, it's a little bit better than the previous model. Maybe the 8 and the 9 had these options. I don't know because I didn't have the 8 or the 9. But what sets this apart for me, what makes this a really good camera, is the Creator Bundle. So the Creator Bundle, what you get with that is you get this battery bank grip that you can hold out your, thing to vlog with or whatever with the front screen. It's now pretty easy to vlog with, as well as charge your GoPro or keep it charged, basically acting as a giant battery for your GoPro on top of the 1750 milliamp hour normal batteries that we know you might be lucky to get like an hour of high resolution recording out of. It now gives you basically all day use with this thing. Obviously not continuous. Continuous, I don't know what it's rated for. I would venture to guess 4 to 6 hours, but you have to double check that. But if you're just doing like normal shooting throughout the day, I've never had to charge this thing personally. I just at the end of the day plug it into charge, and you can plug it directly into the battery bank, and it charges both the battery bank's battery as well as the internal battery of the GoPro. Also, on top of being a battery bank, Bluetooth controller, and a grip, it also is a tripod. So it has 2 little tripod legs, and you can then tilt the GoPro as well as spin the GoPro around. up the, I mean, all the way 360. And again, you can tilt it, so you can pretty much get any angle you want with it. On top of that, you also get this case that your GoPro goes into that has a better microphone system, as well as a windscreen on the microphone that does pop on and off, as well as 2 hot shoe mounts, one on the top and one on the side. So this basically just gives you, again, the better microphone system, as well as letting you attach other accessories like this this light that goes into one of the hot shoes. That, you know, it's just an LED, has 3 different brightness settings just by pressing the button, and then long press turns it on and off. The only downside to the light is that it doesn't charge through the GoPro case that the GoPro's in. It has a separate USB-C port to charge it. I wish it had, you know, somehow they were able to supply power through the hot shoe and to charge the light directly. I will say you don't use the light often unless you're shooting at night or in a dark room. And so far, since I've been using the GoPro for 2 to 3 months, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, I've only had to charge it 1 time. So it lasts quite a while. And the cool thing is you can just unplug the battery grip and charge it right with your battery grip. Like if you're out running around and you notice, you know, you go to use your light and it's dead, boom, plug the battery grip thing into it, you're good to go, use it, and then it'll also charge it, you know, and you still have the internal battery of the GoPro, so swapping it between the two doesn't really matter as long as, you know, you're not recording too long to where you got to switch between them. Again, the case also gives you a way better microphone with a windscreen. I've used this while running, I've used it while riding a bicycle pretty fast, and no wind noise at all. It actually works pretty good. It's a pretty fluffy foam piece, does a great job of getting rid of any wind noise, can't complain. Last thing about the Creator Kit, the GoPro now has, if you've used any of the latest versions, they now have these magnetic points that flip down that started with the Hero 9. It's basically built into the GoPro, the connector that allows you to attach it to accessories, whether that's this battery grip, whether that's like one of the floating grips that where if you drop it in the water, it makes it float. You can connect them just basically using these little you know, screws that, you know, with your fingers or whatever, in and out to the pieces, and it's built right into the GoPro. On top of that, you also have one built into this battery grip, which means you can actually use all of your accessories even if you have the GoPro connected to the battery grip, which is really, really cool. So with the specs out of the way, with, you know, kind of what you get with the Creator Kit and why I think it's a great part of this new GoPro family, let me explain why I love the Creator Kit. Let me explain why I think the GoPro Hero 10 is worth an upgrade, especially if you're rocking a couple year older version of the GoPro, and then we'll go from there. So first and foremost, the video quality on the GoPro Hero 10 is phenomenal. The 5.3K 60 FPS, that means you can still get a little bit of slow motion at that super high resolution, is epic. And you might be saying, why do I need 5.3K? I don't. I could just have 4K, or still a lot of people shoot and upload to YouTube in 1080p. And that is very valid, but the reason it's nice to have that extra resolution as well as frame rates, number one, in that highest resolution, you still can get a little bit of slow motion. And number two, because it allows you to digitally zoom in without sacrificing quality. If you're editing 4K, you'll have a little bit of digital zoom before you'd start to degrade the footage below 4K resolution. If you're editing and rendering in 1080p, you'd have quite a bit more room to do some digital zoom in without degrading the footage below a 1080p quality, which is really, really cool and definitely something needed as GoPros shoot, you know, by default super wide. Even if you go into their narrow setting, it's still shooting a pretty wide angle. And so a lot of times, like with a GoPro, if you're shooting with it, B-roll, things like that, you're probably not gonna quite get to where you want to be. And so digital zoom is used quite a bit. Because I will say the one downside, and there's only a couple downsides that I have with this new GoPro, but the biggest one by far is the fact that there is no optical zoom. I wish somehow GoPro could figure out an optical zoom. I don't know how they would do it. I don't know how the moving parts would function in terms of, you know, when you're using this for action and it getting banged up and dinged up, which is probably, you know, parts of the reason why they haven't done it. But I do know with all the new GoPros, the lenses are removable. I would think they could develop additional lenses that were different size zooms. Maybe you can't actually zoom in and out while you're using it, but I could pop off this normal lens, throw on maybe a 5x or a 10x or even a 30x. That would just be really cool in my opinion. Whether that's actually possible or not, I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I don't know how these things work exactly. So, you know, I don't have a clue, but it would be nice. I know I already mentioned like running down the street and you know, riding bikes with it, and even driving in a car, just like holding it out a window, getting shots of stuff. I never had to worry about, like, you know, with a normal camera, I got my elbows tucked in, I'm holding it close. Sometimes I'm using a neck strap attached to the camera as a third anchor point. I'm watching my breathing, trying to breathe in and out really slow. When I'm walking with the camera, I'm like trying to do this like ninja heel to toe walk to try to keep the footage stabilized as much as possible. You don't got to worry about any of that with this. And not only that, it is definitely the best stabilization out of any camera I've ever used. That's my thoughts with it. I just think it turns it into like a normal style camera, which if you're doing anything outside of action sports, like, it's nice just having that extra camera. It's small. It's a little heavier than like my Sony ZV-1, like a compact camera that I use that has an optical zoom, which is why I also use like a Sony ZV-1. So it's nice for something like that. If I had to choose out of buying the Hero 10 and I was trying to decide whether I should buy the base model or the creator bundle, 100% hands down, I would buy the creator bundle. Anyways, with that said, you know, if you have the Hero 9, maybe wait. I mean, because they're pretty similar. I mean, I told you what the differences were. They're not that big. You get a little bit higher FPS in the 5.3K mode, a little bit more megapixels in the you know, the photo department, and the stabilization is definitely a little bit better. But the Hero 9, it wasn't bad either. So, you know, the version 3.0. So if you have the 9, you might want to hold off, wait a couple more generations to upgrade. But if you have the 8 or anything newer, I definitely think it's worth your money, and I definitely think you should give it a shot. All right, with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, please make sure you smash that like button down below. It helps me out tremendously. Also, make sure you get subbed to the channel for more tech content. If you guys don't know, for those of you that might be new, we recently split. This channel used to have tech stuff, gaming stuff, vlogs on it. We recently split up all the channels, and this channel is now specifically and only technology related videos, tech videos. So if you're into tech videos, subscribe. If you're looking for my vlogs or my gaming content, they're on separate channels. Won't be hard to find. Just type in OMG It's Derek Gaming or OMG It's Derek Vlogs and you'll find it. I love your faces. Thank you guys for the love and support. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Till then, peace out everybody. Later nerds.